Hello and welcome to our Babble Bag instruction DVD. Children born with a cleft palate may develop speech patterns related to their cleft palate. For example, some children with cleft palate may make sounds at the back of their throats, or some may make sounds out of their nose. They may also have speech errors which are not related to their cleft palate in any way. It is estimated as many as 50% of children born with a cleft palate will require speech therapy at some point in their journey. So you, as a parent or carer, play such a vital role in speech therapy. You know your child well. You spend most time with your child, so you will have the greatest opportunity to encourage speech. So whether you know it or not, you are your child's greatest teacher. We would like to support you by giving you some practical ideas in ways you can model the correct sound for your child during play and how to discourage cleft speech patterns from developing. We hope it will inspire you to think of lots of your own examples using your own toys and during your normal everyday routines. So the following ideas are just suggestions. We would encourage you to be creative and, most importantly, to have fun. Children learn sounds by listening to you say the sound and copying you. So the more opportunities for your child to hear you make a sound correctly, the better. Children need to hear sounds over and over again before they will attempt to copy. The purpose of modelling is for your child not to copy you, but to allow your child to plan the sound without the need to say it. We want your child to hear and see the sound rather than say it. And modelling gives them the opportunity to process and to plan. Play activities are great for modelling front quiet sounds. Front sounds are very visual. Children can see the position of the sounds in their mouth more easily. And they are also the furthest away from the throaty sounds that we want to discourage. We want to use quiet sounds so not to distort the sounds and that your child hears them properly. So here in the Welsh Cleft Service, we provide this type of therapy. It's sometimes known as babble therapy or input modelling therapy. And some studies have suggested that early intervention in children with cleft palate may result in improvements in speech. And since providing this intervention, we are seeing children at 18 months who have more sounds and less cleft sounds. So we have made the decision in this unit to provide the therapy. You will have already attended a babble therapy workshop and been given a babble bag. So now, Rian, one of our specialist speech and language therapists, will tell you more about the items in the bag and ways in which you can encourage your child to hear and see sounds. So enjoy.
Hello, I'm here to demonstrate to you how to use your babble bag as funded by Clapper. The toys in the bag, as seen on the table, are not age appropriate for your child. So when playing with these toys, you will need to supervise your child at all times. Some top tips for babbling: find a quiet time of the day that suits your family. Keep distractions to a minimum. Turn the telly off. Maybe choose a time of the day when older siblings are in school and when you know your younger child is happy. Take 5 minutes a couple of times a day and have fun. Use the front quiet sounds. And now I'll show you how to babble with the toys. Right, so first I'll show you how to use your bubbles, everybody's favourite. Remember to hold the bubbles close to your mouth. It'll encourage your child to look at your mouth and they'll be able to see all of your lovely front quiet sounds. So we'll start by just blowing the bubbles. Simply allow your child to pop them, saying pop, pop, pop. Your child will be watching and hearing your front quiet sound as you're popping those bubbles. Next, let's make the bubbles wobble. And with change sound, make your bubble wobble. And simply pop. Remember to hold the wand close to your mouth so your child's seeing your lovely long sound. And next, you can simply lay your child on the floor, blow the bubbles over them, and simply say up, up, as you're watching the bubbles float away. And if your child enjoys bubbles in the bath, why not babble in the bath? Remember to use those lovely front sounds, get some bubbles, and make it snow. Right, next let's look at the cotton reel and lace. So simply knot your lace and thread the cotton reels onto the lace. You can do them with a jerking movement and use some of your shorter sounds like p, 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 p. Remember to hold the cotton reel close to your mouth so your child is looking at your mouth, seeing your lovely front quiet sound. So with that jerking movement, you could also do t, 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 t. So when producing t, I use my tongue between my teeth, not because I'm teaching your child to do their sound like that, but I'm making the sound more visual so your child wants to look towards your mouth. T, t, t. Remember, you can thread anything onto your thread. You could use pasta or blocks with holes in. I've got some pasta here today. So you can do this now with a longer movement, a smoother movement with your longer sounds. We could even use S. And when your lace is loaded, why not pretend it's a snake? It can slither along and catch your child's toes. We can even pretend the loaded lace is a rainmaker and watch the cotton reels as they whiz up and down. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Remember to hold the lace close to your mouth so your child's watching your lips. Now, why not play just with the cotton reels? And tap together, or tap, tap, tap. You could even build a tower with them. Count the reels up, 1, 2, 3, and encourage your child to push them down. Push or crash. Now, I'm just going to load these reels on the lace again. I'm going to show you how you can use the lace to do the wheels on the bus. Language develops really well through song, and we must remember that we need to develop your child's language alongside their speech. So here we are, the wheels on the bus can go round and round, round and round, round and round. Or the horn on the bus can go beep, 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 beep. And the wipers on the bus can go swish, 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 swish. So next, let's look at the windmill. This will grab your child's attention with its sparkles. Remember to hold it close to your mouth, and we can make it turn really quickly with your long sound. Or we can make it jerk or turn slowly with your shorter sounds. Or remember to hold the windmill close to your mouth to keep your child's attention so they can see all of those lovely front sounds. Why not take the windmill in the garden on a windy day and watch it whiz round in the wind? Whoosh, whoosh. Right, so next we've got the finger puppets. These can be used in lovely ways to develop your child's babble. Why not hide them? And when your child's not expecting, beep-o, beep-o. Remember to hold those finger puppets close to your mouth so your child can see those lovely front sounds. Peep-o, peep-o. The finger puppets can hop towards your child. Hop, 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 and tickle your child. Hop, 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 tickle your child. We can use these finger puppets to develop your child's play. Why not pretend to feed the finger puppet? Chomp, chomp. Remember, you've got a polite finger puppet and he's going to say ta, ta. Encourage your child to offer the finger puppet some food or offer their hand. Chomp, chomp, ta, ta. And when your finger puppet's had enough to eat, he gets tired. So let's put him down to bed. He's sleeping. With any play you use with these finger puppets, remember those front quiet sounds. And next I'll show you how to use your finger puppets in the rhyme Two Little Dicky Birds. So you've got two little dicky birds sitting on a wall, one named Peter, one named Paul. Fly away, Peter. Fly away, Paul. Come back, Peter. Hello, Peter. Come back, Paul. Hello, Paul. So next in your babble bag, you'll find the pop-up clown. Remember to hold it close to your mouth so your child can see those lovely front sounds. And he can say, peep-o, or pop up. Peep-o, pop up. You could name your pop-up clown. Remember those front mouth sounds? We could call her Poppy. We could call him Bobby. Let's call him Toby for today. And we can add that to our peekaboo rhyme. Peekaboo, peekaboo. Who's that hiding there? Peekaboo, peekaboo. Oh, it's Toby under there. We can use this pop-up clown to develop play as well. He can get tired and we'll say down, down, down. He's sleeping. Down, down, down. He's sleeping. Then let's be the alarm clock to wake him up. Tick, tock, tick, tock. Get up, Toby. Get up, Toby. We can also use the pop-up clown in our Jack-in-the-Box rhyme. Jack-in-the-Box jumps up like this. He makes me laugh as he wobbles his head. Gently I push him down again. Jack-in-the-Box jumps up instead. Next we've got a magic ball. So let's introduce this to your child as a magic ball that needs a magic sound to make it flash. Ready for your magic sound? And it makes the ball flash. While the ball's flashing, why not change the sound? Flash. We could use this as a regular ball as well. And when we throw it, we can say up, up. Or we could bounce it. Ba, ba, ba. Why not roll it to your child and encourage them to roll it back? Shh, shh, shh. Remember to use front sounds anytime you're playing with your ball, in the garden, in the park, or in Nanny's house. So whenever you're throwing, catching, rolling, kicking a ball, remember those front quiet sounds. Books are a great way to develop your child's speech and language. When reading a book with your child, remember those front quiet sounds. P, t, f, sh, and f. We chose this book especially because we've got the Welsh words at the top, but the English words underneath. It's a bilingual book. We also chose this book because it goes through and teaches your child different parts of their face. And if your child is going to need therapy in the future, it's really useful for them to know where their mouth, their lips, their tongue and their teeth are. We also really like this book because it's got a mirror at the back. So why not make some funny faces in the mirror while teaching your child different parts of their face? So in your Babble Bag, you'll have a book similar to this. And when going through it, you don't have to read all of the words, you can just talk about the pictures. Remember those front quiet sounds. So I can see the owl. Twit, twoo, twit, twoo. Who's on the next page? The dog. Woof, woof, woof. I found a bunny. Bunny said hop, 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 hop. When choosing a book for your child, bear in mind their favourite characters. There's lots of lovely characters out there with all of those lovely front sounds in. Maybe Peppa Pig, Bob the Builder, Oopsie Daisy, Postman Pat, or even Mr. Tumble. Have a think. There's lots of lovely books and lovely characters out there. So now you've seen all the toys in the Babble Bag. Remember, at home you've got some lovely toys that we can use your front quiet sounds with. So I've got some of my favourite toys here to show you today. So first, here's my boat. It's simply a tissue box covered in paper, and I've got some little guys in it that I found round my house. And we can name those guys. We can have Daddy and Tess, remembering our front quiet sounds. So we can say, jump out the boat, Tess. Jump out the boat, Daddy. Jump in the boat, Tess. Jump in the boat, Daddy. And the boat can go sailing on the sea. Whoosh, whoosh. If your child likes to play with boats in the bath, why not babble in the bath? Daddy and Tess can jump out and say splash. Splash! You can also see here I've got my pots and my pans. Why not be a chef and make your favourite recipes in your pan? You can add any ingredients you like. Pour, 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 plop in the pot. Pour, 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 plop in the pot. Give it a stir. And why not taste some? Tasty. You could also use your pots and pans like drums. You can bang them loudly, bang, bang, or you can tap them quietly. You could do a rhyme with your drum and your spoon. Rum tum, who's that playing on the drum? Rum tum, Rian's playing on the drum. So next I've got my car ramp. Again, it's just another cardboard box covered in paper. So our cars are going to have their race. Ready, steady, set, off. Ready, steady, set, off. Slow car. Remember those front quiet sounds? Your cars could be in a traffic jam. Beep, 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 beep. Or they could have a crash. Crash. Oops. Crash. Oops. So again, we've got another cardboard box covered in paper, but this is going to be my cot. And we've got Teddy to come and play. Whether you've got Teddy, a dolly or a baby, they've all got your lovely quiet front sounds in. So Teddy needs to go to bed. Let's put him in the cot. He might need a story to help him go to sleep. Remember those characters with your front quiet sounds? Maybe Paw Patrol or Peppa Pig. Teddy also will need a lullaby. Think of some rhymes with your front quiet sounds. Maybe twinkle, twinkle, little star. And then shh, Teddy's sleeping. When Teddy wakes up, you might need to change his clothes. Any clothes with poppers, remember they can say pop, pop, pop. He might need some socks or some shoes. Remember those lovely front sounds? He might need to be fed or taken out in the pushchair. Whoosh! Ideas are endless. Just remember those front quiet sounds. Finally, remember you can babble every day in daily routine. Maybe if you're bottle feeding your baby and you've got that lovely face-to-face contact, try some of your front quiet sounds. P, 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 or your child may be older and sitting in their high chair. You can use front quiet sounds then as well, and they can't escape. Your spoon could be the train. Shh, coming to the tunnel. Shh. Or it could be a snake. Remember your front quiet sounds when you're dressing your child. The poppers on his vest might say p, 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 or pop, pop, pop. The zip on their coat can say up, 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 or s. Equally, it can say down, down, down. When you're changing your child's nappy and they're laid down and you've got that lovely face-to-face contact, you can babble with your child then. Why not find a wipe and make it jump? P, p. That'll grab your child's attention. Don't give up on babbling with your child. They need to hear the sounds hundreds of times before they're willing to say it. Remember, you can babble anytime, anywhere, with anyone. So why not encourage mums, dads, grandparents, siblings, even aunties and uncles to babble with your child? Go on, have a go. Thanks for watching. Have fun and happy babbling.
As I said before, we have just given you some ideas, but there are so many opportunities throughout the day to practice modelling sounds with your child. So if you have any ideas that have worked really well with your child, then please share them with us so that we can share them with others. We would love to hear from you.
Thomas first went to babble therapy, I think he was about 9 months old, and to be honest, I did sort of walk in and think, you know, there's not going to be much use to him at that age. We talked about, I remember there was toothbrushes, toothpaste, talked about brushing his teeth correctly, a few sort of sounds that we could make with him while we were doing that, a few sounds to avoid making, to try not to get him into bad habits. And then we got invited back for another babble therapy. I think it might have been about 12 months later, where we progressed into, you know, slightly more sounds, and then he started having speech therapy then when he started nursery at 3.
When we initially went to a babble workshop, Zidane was only about a year old, and I have to remember thinking that it was a completely pointless experience. I didn't see at such a young age why this was necessary and why it would help. Even though as a young age your baby starts to make sounds and different noises, I didn't feel that at a year old it was important to start thinking about speech and the way he was going to be saying things properly. But I'm glad I went, because I do remember thinking it was completely pointless at the beginning. But then as you go on and go to further sessions, I found that they helped tremendously. Even learning the correct sounds is very difficult for a child with cleft issues. So understanding the reasoning behind the words is important, I think, as a parent as well. When Zidane was going to the sessions, we were making up words with letters, especially with put and but at the beginning, which I thought was very confusing for a little boy. He was trying to start to speak and learn how to say things, and then we were making up these words that didn't make any sense at all, only to then realise that the importance of the correct pronunciation of them not realising what the words were only comes out at a later stage. And I feel that that is a key really in recognising at an early age where children get into habits, and if you don't correct the habits, then that's when the speech can start to go down a slippery slope, I suppose, and then it's hard to correct.
Thomas, from a very young age, made lots of different sounds and was always seemed to be talking anyway. A very chatty little boy. We sort of, every time we went up to the stairs, we were going up, up, up with him at every step, and just generally talking to him. And we were sat in the car. In the car used to be a big focus for us because it was somewhere where he was contained and he couldn't run away from us. And we used to just practice the sounds that we learned at Babble Therapy. At tea time, when he could actually see us, he was looking at us, was a big thing as well.
Everyday activities, everyday tasks, playing games, just simple sentences really. I remember at the sessions we did in the workshops, we played with games and jigsaw puzzles, and every sound we were practicing, even with Sammy Snakes, for example, you know, you'd put in the pieces and emphasise the sounds of different words, so that even simple activities, Zidane was practicing on these sounds. So games and playing at home with bubbles, we did a lot with bubbles as well, and blowing. But I just think even out in the car, if we were out in the car, we'd always point at things in the car and try and get him to recognise sounds for different things. And I think more than anything is everyday activities, so that they don't see it as an effort, that you're just picking them up on things. And I think that's the key really, is just making it natural and part of your daily life.
Yeah, well, Thomas has been having speech therapy, and now he's just finished reception in school, so he's been having it for 2 years, near enough every week, with input from the Cleft team and the community speech therapist. We had a visitor last week, the week before, who said that she hadn't heard him speak for 12 months and was really, really pleased with how he'd progressed. In school, he loves school, all his friends can understand him. His school report said he's an important member of the class, always chatting and speaking to people. He's just a really happy, chatty little boy. His confidence has soared because now he knows that people can understand what he's saying.
We've been going to speech therapy now since Zidane was just over a year old, and he's 5.5 now, and we've just had his 5-year assessment. Zidane's speech is amazing. He's extremely chatty and confident, easy to understand. Even at school they didn't understand why he was going to speech therapy, because his speech is so clear. And I feel that practicing is just the key thing really. At home you need to pick them up on the sounds and make sure that you understand as a parent the importance and the reasoning behind it as well.
Go to Babble Therapy, every session that you get offered, just do anything and everything that gets thrown at you, you know, speech therapy wise. If you do need help, ring the Cleft team, they will give you advice. They'll, you know, maybe do an assessment with his speech and everything, and just do anything you can.
As a parent, at the beginning you obviously feel that there's no need for speech therapy, and for, you know, at a young age, why are we going to these sessions? It doesn't really make much sense. But I'd say anybody, you know, it's really important, and you don't see the results maybe for a few years down the line. And I think it's fantastic that the therapy is available, and the speech therapy that Cleft team offer is just invaluable in children's speech and how they develop. So go to everything you can. It really does pay off.